Next up, Russ and I discuss our most anticipated physical media releases of 2024.
Did you make the cut?
Welcome back to 4K Kings. I am Matt.
I am Russ.
And welcome to your home of physical media in 2024.
Welcome home.
And Russ, we are back in 2024.
With a bang.
With a bang. And we're here to come back to the people with nothing but
love.
And premonitions for the future. We don't know everything that's coming out in 2024, but there are a handful of titles that have been announced late last year, that I'm personally really excited about. So I've got a top 5 and then a few honorable mentions. And I know you have some as well.
Mine are not in any chronological order.
Just don't jerk me off. That's all I ask. Don't jerk me off.
7 in 4K. It's hard to use the term anticipate because I wasn't really anticipating it for long. It was like announced and then release date is soon after. I'm excited about it because number one, it's, David Fincher's first 4K offering. It's the only thing that's ever made it there was a Social Network, but it was in that Columbia Classics. So there's never been a standalone Fincher 4K. I'm excited that this is the first one. I think this is a good first one to throw out there. Fight Club maybe, but this is a good first one. They've got a couple of really interesting additions to go along with it. Nothing standard. Everything's like a big ass collector's edition. There's a box that is involved. I myself have already pre-ordered the regular collector's edition.
I pre-ordered the same edition you did. I couldn't justify the what's in the box in-joke edition.
Yeah, all right, laugh it up.
Yeah, the packaging for that other one was a little bonkers, and I'm not sure why we haven't seen just a regular ass release for this announced yet. It's just like these collector's editions are nothing.
Honestly, I'm very shocked that it's taken this long for Fincher to have a proper 4K debut.
And it kind of came out of the blue, so really interesting. Again, now that that's out there, I'm excited to get our hands on this bonkers ass release. Take a look at one of the first David Fincher 4K transfers, see what it's all about, and report back to the people. I'm sure we'll do a review of that film whenever the hell we get it. What's your number 5?
Like I said, I'm going in no order of importance. So at 5, Conan the Barbarian.
Yes.
I'm excited. All the things I've read, I love how it's kind of blowing up the news and physical media communities, and it's kind of getting the spotlight. The features are insane. I did not get Chronicles. I did not get the sequel. Dude, if any movie deserves 4K clarity, crisp upgrade, I mean, this movie's epic. I can't wait to watch it. This is one of those ones where, you receive one in the mail and it's like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to get to it maybe in a week or two. This is one that, you're going to sit down and watch immediately. I hemmed and hawed and I was going to get I was interested in buying Conan the Barbarian. Awesome art, awesome everything. You highly recommended it. It was $44 or something. I never got it. But then when Chronicles went down to like 40 for both, I was like, all right, fuck it. Dude, yeah.
So I picked it up. I got the, Hercules, Xena, the Warrior Princess art, but I still got both films for like $40.
And dude, it's worth it. I think any way you go with this through Arrow, you're a winner.
And if you do not listen, then the hell with you.
Russ, my number 4 is a Sony Steelbook. We love Sony. We love their steel books. And for me, number 4 is The Raid in 4K. This is coming out January 16th, so about a couple of weeks. I've already pre-ordered it. I can't believe this was announced. It finally is getting some 4K treatment, which is really exciting. It's a title that we did in one of our recommendation segments. I recommended this to everyone out there, as well as its sequel, and now we're getting the first one in 4K. No announcement on the second one in 4K. Alas, we're only going to get one. Probably see how this sells before they give the guy money to take a look at number 2. There's a lot of features on here that was previously there, but you're also getting new 4K transfer, the Dolby Vision. You get the alternate soundtrack if you don't like the Mike Shinoda track.
Wait, is that really an option?
Original Indonesian music score versus the Mike Shinoda American version.
Ooh, all disrespect to Mike Shinoda. I'm pumped for that.
You do better.
Awesome release all around, Sony. Thank you for another great 4K title. They also mentioned there's a brand new color grade. That film has already looked pretty drab and kind of gray. I thought on purpose. I wonder if that's just how it had to end up or if there's something that he was really hoping it would look like. So curious to see what the director has done with this great film.
My number 4, Matt, is the Gus Van Sant film To Die For, being released in March through Criterion, making its 4K debut. I'm pumped for this one. Obviously, Criterion does a great job They clearly have a relationship, or they own Gus Van Sant's catalog. The Others, which is another Nicole Kidman film they put out recently. We were all impressed by it. Again, I like the cover art. I think the cover art is, if they're going to change it, I think it's clever what they did. If you're familiar with the movie, it completely makes sense as well. Can't wait to see what features they've accumulated. That's what I'm most excited for, because every iteration of To Die For previously has had next to no features on it.
I read a review on the Blu-ray. Apparently there was like a 5.1 DTS mix that was put out with the movie in the theater, but then when it came on to Blu-ray, it was like a 2.0 stereo. And everyone was like, where did the 5.1 go? It's really weird.
I'm going to need 5.1 for that kick-ass fucking song.
You're getting the 5.1 and you're getting deleted scenes.
I've owned this movie on VHS, on DVD, on Blu-ray. Dude, I even read the book that it was based on when I was in the 8th grade when this came out. I had a huge crush on Nicole Kidman at the time because of this movie. For anyone who hasn't seen it, I'd recommend a blind buy, to be honest. Broadly enjoyable, yet also, if you're into film and into performances and acting, you get two great performances from Casey Affleck and Joaquin Phoenix, who were nobodies at this time, you know. 14-year-old me looking up at my ceiling is just ecstatic for this release.
No, you wouldn't understand.
Number 3 for me, Russ, is a title again that I've talked about on this channel, always wanting a Blu release of, or at least a 4K release of. One of my favorite horror movies, Russ.
Regarding Henry?
All right, wait a minute. Will you just wait a minute?
No, Russ. One of my favorite horror movies, one that I've actually only ever owned on DVD, and that's Inside.
You could only own it on DVD. What are you talking about?
Here it is, right here in my Dimension Extreme Inside Unrated Edition, which, by the way, is pretty cool slipcase. See how like the scissors are like reflective?
It's the same edition I have.
This is the one you have? Yeah. So this came out on DVD, God knows how many years ago, 2006 or 7 or something. Yeah. It's a film that I've always wanted to come out in a traditional blue or any kind of release. Second Sight, one of our favorite companies, is putting out for everyone out there that is a fan. If you're not, I would highly recommend checking this out. This is a film that, again, I would highly recommend watching with your pregnant loved ones, or really anyone else that you really care about. And it is a super solid release. If you look at this here, again, Second Sight's not messing around. I was super happy to see that they were the ones that were putting this out. A ton of new features, 5 total new interviews, some audio commentaries, and again, looking at the artwork, it's like perfect for this release. You've got really scary imagery, which this movie has, art cards and everything else. But I'm excited to have a hard box and a booklet. It's a great title. I'm so happy it's coming out on Blu-ray. Wish we could get the 4K, but it's a solid release nonetheless. When this comes out, which it comes out in February 5th. Would you like to do a review of this movie? Should we review this for the people maybe? I don't know. I don't want to go too deep on it. I'd love to give my further thoughts maybe at a later date, but take a look at this release. You won't be disappointed. It's still available for pre-order now. Russ, what's your number 3?
One title that has been rumored. The cinematographer, I believe, posted something on his Instagram page about being approached by the studio to supervise a 4K scan, and that is the cinematographer of The Crow. So The Crow has been heavily rumored for a 2024 4K release. If there's ever a film that defined an era, that kickstarted a visual movement, and note I say visual, that's exactly what I want from 4K upgrades. Even if you hate this movie, you can't say it doesn't have its own style. Alex Proyas became a very a great director, I guess.
Yes, visionary.
Honestly, I've never seen anything outside of The Crow.
I took it personally.
But I enjoy this film immensely. I always thought it was a great mashup between the old school 80s type action films and what was to come without mocking either. It fits snugly in the middle. You know what I mean? I know from previous releases, do you remember that thick like Miramax DVD box of it that came out? I remember it had a ton of features, so I know they're out there. But I also think with a title like this, you can get a lot of that supporting cast back to maybe get some retrospective stuff. Talk about Brandon Lee, talk about what happened there, talk about the soundtrack, which was fucking landmark. I mean, there's so many ways you could go. I just think The Crow is a great title. I hope it comes to fruition in 2024.
Yeah.
My number 2 is a title we've already talked about like 100 times, and I'm not going to talk about it much more. Coming out March 12th. all I'm going to say is we've all been waiting for this, Russ. It has already been canceled in the UK. I've seen a lot of horrible things already about True Lies. I think people have been saying some horrible things about The Abyss as well. I have no idea what's going to happen, what this transfer is going to look like when we actually get it home. A lot of the stuff I've been seeing is all like streaming. So yeah, I'm pumped. I'm ready for The Abyss in 4K.
Moment of truth.
I know we talked about what release should I get? Should I wait? Should I get the art I don't like? Should I wait for something later? No matter what I do, Russ, I'm excited. It's coming in 2024. I am anticipating The Abyss in 2024. It's one of my most anticipated titles, no matter what I do.
You can do what, Jimmy Stewart did or Gregory Peck did. They just fucking stood there.
I'm starting to think James Cameron secretly hates physical media. I think he's actually out to destroy it.
You know what? Don't worry about it. I love that one. That's my number 2, man. The Abyss is probably number 1 on so many people's lists, or at least any of these James Cameron titles. It's there for me as well. It's up there. The hype is real. I'm so excited for it, despite all the trash talk. I'm ready to at least see it and then judge it after that. For now, I'm lukewarm on what it could or could not be. I'm just happy that it's coming.
I'm going to throw down the gauntlet.
Okay.
Matt, it's 2024. 40-year anniversary. Warner, you own New Line. You've been bragging about what, last year was your celebration. We got The Exorcist. We got all that. Nightmare on Elm Street. Make it happen this year.
Give it to us.
Make it happen. Matter of fact, Matt, every year we do our anticipated releases, I'm going to put Nightmare on Elm Street in that top 5 list until it happens.
Until it happens.
And I want the entire series. I want the Never Sleep Again documentary, the I Am Nancy doc by Heather Langenkamp, the Scream Queen doc by Mark.
Well, you don't really have to worry about it because nobody asked you.
I want the Fat Boys music video. I want the Freddy Krueger MTV specials. I want every goddamn thing that is out there. Or I'll just settle for the original.
Russ, I'm with you. That would be an announcement of like all announcements, basically. It was kind of, and which would actually really help us out. If you think about like
I don't even like Nightmare on Elm Street, but I'm fucking rooting for it.
Yeah, a nice steelbook of one would be great, but if we could get the whole series again, that would be next level physical media, like elation that people would feel.
Like a Scream Factory, Halloween or Friday the 13th style box set with Nightmare on Elm Street. Make it happen.
We'll see, bitch. We'll just see.
Russ, before I jump to my number 1, I just want to give 3 quick honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1 is Kill Bill in 4K, which was a swing and a miss last year. We heard about it. We heard Quentin Tarantino was involved in it to go along with its anniversary. Then some Blu-rays came out, and that was kind of it. We don't know what's happening with the 4K, if that's this year. I'm assuming that it is. But if so, I'm excited. It doesn't have a release date, and I'm unsure what will happen, so I just want to throw that out there as an honorable mention. The Hitcher 4K from Second Sight was announced 2 years ago. They've been stringing us along with that for a long time, but this apparently is the year, first quarter, that we're going to be getting a deluxe 4K collector's edition, which I, along with a lot of people out there, I know are excited for as well. And then lastly, Kickboxer. But I'm going to take this one step further and say I'm hoping for a Kickboxer in 4K. Kickboxer on Blue has been announced to be an exclusive Walmart steelbook. And it's awful looking. And it's just a Blu-ray. And based on the J card that's on there that you can see, it looks like it's the same Blu-ray that came out in 2009. They're just repackaging it in this new case. So I'm probably not going to pick up anyway, especially if it's the same Blue that's already out there. I might as well just get that, which I won't. So another honorable mention, rumor mills only here. Bringing that down to number 1, Russ. You ready to share number 1? Yes, I know we talked about this like a few months ago, and it was Criterion's January announcement, so it had like a little bit of a 2-month lead time. We talked about it at the live stream. We put a segment of it up. Not too many hits. I don't know if people are into Trainspotting.
It's one of our favorite movies of all time, I'm sure. It's definitely in my top 20.
Yeah, so I think this is a little bit maybe more of a personal pick. All of these are somewhat personal to some degree for our most anticipated releases.
We like heroin.
That's nice.
This is definitely something that we've been waiting for. I've definitely been waiting for. The glow-in-the-dark digipack looks amazing. Hopefully there'll be that long-lost audio track that I've been desperately trying to get my hands on forever. I can't wait to watch this at the end of the month when it comes out, since we will probably definitely do a full review and go through the transfer and everything else. But again, I couldn't be more thrilled to pick it up. Thank you so much, Criterion, for listening to me. Russ, your number 1 also?
Of course.
Okay, number 1, Solidarity Friends, and Trainspotting. That's at least our top 5 most anticipated titles and a few honorable mentions. I think 2024 is going to be an amazing year for physical media. We'll be here covering it all as it happens. You hear it. Dun, 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 dun.
What?
First. MTV News. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
With the Megadeth thing?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that was like their thing. Thank you for joining. Thank you for checking this out. Let us know what your most anticipated titles are. And we'll see everyone soon.